No one dared to stop the Arab millionaire's fury. His voice boomed through every corner of the luxurious Imperial Hotel lobby, freezing guests and staff alike. Then a cleaner stepped forward. In fluent, perfectly modulated Arabic, she spoke a few words that changed everything in an instant. The scream echoed through the grand lobby of the Imperial Hotel, making guests turn in surprise and staff freeze in their tracks. "This is unacceptable," the man exclaimed, slamming his palm on the reception desk. "I booked the presidential suite a month ago. How dare you tell me it's not available now?" Khalid al-Rahman, one of the most powerful businessmen from Saudi Arabia, was furious. His imposing figure, dressed in an impeccable black suit and a traditional white keffiyeh on his head, dominated the space. His bodyguards maintained a prudent distance, watching the situation grow increasingly tense. The hotel manager, a middle-aged man named Raul Vega, tried to remain calm as sweat beaded on his forehead. "Mr. Al-Rahman, I assure you we are doing everything possible to resolve this," he said, his voice trembling. "There was an issue with the reservation system." "I don't care about your system," Khalid interrupted. "I came to Mexico City to close a multi-million-dollar deal, and this is how you receive me? Do you know who I am?" The other receptionists exchanged nervous glances. None dared to intervene. Lucia Hernandez was discreetly cleaning the marble floor a few meters away. At 28, she had only been working at the Imperial for 3 months. Every day she was grateful for this job, even if it wasn't what she'd dreamed of after graduating with honors in Middle Eastern studies, fluent in 4 languages. But her mother's illness and the mounting debts had left her no choice. As she mopped, she listened intently to the argument. It wasn't the first time she'd seen wealthy guests lose their temper, but there was something in this man's frustration that went beyond simple anger over a booking. The manager continued trying to appease the Arab businessman without success. "Mr. Al-Rahman, we can offer you the executive suite while we solve the problem. I assure you it's almost as spacious as the presidential." "Almost?" Khalid's voice rose even higher. "I did not come here to settle for almost. My team needs space to work. We have meetings scheduled in the suite. This will ruin my entire agenda." Lucia could tell the man was genuinely worried, not just throwing a capricious millionaire's tantrum. Something more was at stake. She noticed the documents under his arm, and the way he nervously checked his watch. The hotel's assistant manager joined in, speaking rapid Spanish that the Arab visitor clearly didn't fully understand, increasing his frustration. Behind them, 2 other hotel executives argued in low voices, blaming each other for the mistake. "We need to call security," one of them whispered, just loud enough for Lucia to hear. It was then, without thinking too much, that Lucia leaned her mop against the wall and approached the front desk. She knew she was risking her job, but she couldn't stand by and watch the situation escalate over a simple misunderstanding. "Excuse me," she said in a firm but respectful voice, addressing her superiors first. "I believe I can help." The manager looked at her with a mixture of surprise and indignation. "Hernandez, return to your duties immediately. We are handling this." But Lucia, in an act of bravery she couldn't later explain, turned directly to Khalid al-Rahman. She looked him in the eye, and to the astonishment of everyone present, began to speak in fluent, perfect Arabic. "I apologize for the inconvenience, Mr. Al-Rahman," she said respectfully. "If you'll allow me, I believe I can explain what has happened and offer a solution that could meet your needs." Khalid's face shifted from rage to total surprise. His dark eyes widened in amazement upon hearing his native language spoken with such perfection by a Mexican cleaning lady. For a moment, he was speechless. "You speak Arabic?" he asked in the same language, studying her with curiosity. "Yes, sir," Lucia replied, also in Arabic. "I studied your language and culture for 5 years. I understand you are here for an important meeting and need adequate space for your team to work." Everyone watched, dumbfounded. The manager, pale as a ghost, couldn't believe his eyes. Khalid, visibly calmer, nodded slowly. "I have a critical meeting in 4 hours. Important investors are coming, and I need to impress them. The presidential suite has the private conference room I specifically requested." Lucia nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. Then, switching back to Spanish, she addressed the manager. "Mr. Vega, the issue is that Mr. Al-Rahman needs a space for a meeting with investors in 4 hours. Isn't the Aztec Hall on the 2nd floor available? It could be prepared quickly while the executive suite is set up with the necessary equipment." The manager blinked, processing the suggestion. "Well, yes, the Aztec Hall is free today, but—" Lucia turned back to Khalid in Arabic. "Sir, the hotel can offer you one of its best conference rooms, much larger than the one in the presidential suite. Meanwhile, they can prepare the executive suite with everything you need. I am familiar with Arab customs of hospitality and can personally ensure everything is to your preferences." She mentioned specific details about the traditional setup for business meetings in the Arab world, the correct orientation of the space and other cultural elements that left Khalid visibly impressed. The businessman stroked his beard, considering the proposal. "And who are you, exactly?" he asked with genuine curiosity. "My name is Lucia Hernandez, sir. I'm just a cleaning staff member here, but I previously studied international relations with a specialization in the Middle East." Something in the young woman's sincerity and competence seemed to resonate with Khalid. After a moment of reflection, he nodded. "Very well. I will accept this solution," he said, then looked at the manager. "But on one condition. I want her to personally oversee the preparations. She is evidently the only person in this hotel who understands my needs." The manager, relieved to see the crisis abating but bewildered by the turn of events, could only nod. "Of course, Mr. Al-Rahman. Miss Hernandez will be in charge of all preparations for your stay." Lucia swallowed, surprised by the sudden change in her situation. Just minutes ago, she was mopping the floor. Now she was in charge of attending the hotel's most important guest. "Thank you for your trust, Mr. Al-Rahman," she said in Arabic, maintaining her composure despite her nervousness. "I will not let you down." Khalid looked at her with an intensity that made her feel exposed, as if he could see right through her. "I expect not, Miss Hernandez. I don't usually give second chances." As the manager hurried to escort Khalid and his entourage to the elevator, Lucia remained in the lobby, aware of her co-workers' astonished stares. Her life had just taken an unexpected turn, and something told her that Khalid Al-Rahman was not a man who forgot easily.